Hey, what's up, Hoopers? I'm Josh, and this is the first day of my off-season vlog. So today, after I got home from school, I did a quick core workout, as it's crucial to have balance as an athlete. After my workout, I had chicken for lunch and some chips on the side. I also added some blueberries in order to maintain my goal of one fruit per day. After lunch, I finished my PayPal book because it's always important to keep learning, whether a basketball player or a student. After I was done reading my book, I was able to get in my basketball skill workout, working on my jumper, and I even was able to have some apples and peanut butter as my post-workout snack. Lastly, for dinner, I enjoyed some nice time with my family as I enjoyed some pasta. Subscribe for day 2. Hey Hoopers, I'm Josh and this is episode 2 of my basketball offseason. I started today out with a 30-minute upper body workout in the morning, which included some push-ups and exercises for my shoulders, chest, and upper back. For breakfast, I ate 4 scrambled eggs and turkey bacon to get my protein in. Then, I put up 400 shots in my basketball workout, continuing to work on my first go-to move and shooting off of a curl. As Bruce Lee said, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. After my skill workout, I then had some Chinese for lunch and thought that my fortune cookie message really applied to my life. I realized there will never be the perfect moment to start, and so by taking action, I'm one step closer to getting 1% better every day. Later, I read the first chapter from my biography on Steve Jobs. The chapter went in depth about his early life. Did you know he was adopted as a child? Since it was movie night, I watched the new Hustle film on Netflix. I thought it was a phenomenal basketball movie. I loved how the NBA players, like Tobias Harris and Anthony Edwards, played other characters in the movie, and how the scout, played by Adam Sandler, found a hidden gem in someone who consistently worked hard. Keep improving, comment below what you think, and subscribe for episode 3. Hey Hoopers, I'm Josh and this is episode 3 of my basketball offseason vlog. Today, we are going to be taking a mini vacation to Rehoboth Beach, located in Delaware. Although I wasn't able to get in a lot of basketball, I still got in some ball handling at the beach and did my push-ups. So I will be showcasing my experience on the trip. Let's go. When I arrived at the beach, we decided to tour the boardwalk and try some interesting treats. First, we tried Dolly's salt water tappies and bought their caramel popcorn. For dinner, we ate at the Big Fish Grill and I ordered the big shrimp penne. We got up early in the morning and headed to the beach. While in the sun, I made sure to get my push-ups in on the sand, and as I attempted to get my tan, I read a little bit more of my Steve Jobs book. Before I forget, happy 40th birthday, Lisa! After a relaxing beach time, we tried the pizza at Grotto's. Once finished with my 3 slices, I competed in some rooftop mini golf. I haven't had a funnel cake in a long time, so I purchased a s'mores funnel cake at Starkey's. It definitely put me over my calorie limit for the day. The next morning, we went to IHOP and I ordered their protein pancakes, which packed a total of 37 grams of protein. Before heading home for the trip, my family and I visited some of the huge Tanger outlets in town. I really wanted to visit the Nike factory store. Thanks for joining me on my vacation, and I'll see you guys for episode 4. So shooting and ball handling are important, but so is agility. So today I'm at Pure Sweat Academy's Speed, Strength, and Agility Camp. Let's go. Look guys, I'm Steph Curry. just got done my speed, strength, and agility camp for Pure Sweat Academy. I'm sure the quads are going to be feeling it tomorrow, but got a lot of starting and stopping and explosiveness type stuff in, so had a good experience and can't wait for next Monday. What's up, Hoopers? Welcome back to the off-season vlog series. So later today, I have a open workout with my basketball team at my high school, and I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be getting in some extra work this morning because the regular work is not enough. You always have to put in the extra work if you want to be a great player. So I'm going to go get in a quick ball handling workout, get up a few free throws, work on my footwork for my right to left jumpers, and I'll update you after that. Alright guys, just got done my ball handling workout. Thought it was a good one because I worked those V-dribble variations, whether it was going behind the back, between the legs 2 times, so just moving the ball in all sorts of directions and learning how to manipulate the ball in that V-dribble. So, something I also want to bring up to you is when you look back at some of the film I'm going to show you, you'll notice I'm making tiny mistakes on reps 7, 8, 9, doesn't matter. Maybe it's hitting my foot, maybe it's hitting my leg. And through those tiny mistakes is where you're going to make your 1% improvement. Because 1% to the 365, which means if you're getting 1% better every single day for 365 days, you're going to be 37 times better by the end of the year. So keep putting in the work, make mistakes in all your workouts, not just ball handling, shooting, finishing, whatever workout you're doing. Make the mistakes, keep learning, keep growing. Now I'm going to go get 100 free throws in. Alright guys, so I just came in for my morning workout, got some good work in, and decided to make myself a strawberry banana shake, which is one of my favorites. So let's try it out. That's busting. Alright Hoopers, got a full busy day of workouts ahead of me today. So I'm going to start off with an Apple Fitness workout, which makes it super easy to track it on my Apple Watch. So I'm going to get this cool workout in, maybe grab some breakfast, and then head down to the court.
Hey, what's up my friend? Coach Craig here at the Fitness Plus studio in LA with 2 good friends and teammates Marimba and Scott.
I like to work out with Apple Fitness Plus because they have a variety of training methods and durations. The Apple Watch tracks my progress and keeps me motivated to close my rings. Hey guys, I'm at Chick-fil-A having my breakfast burrito. I try to incorporate ball handling into most of my workouts because it translates to all other aspects of my game, like passing, shooting, and finishing. Even if it's only for 5 minutes a day, make sure to get your ball handling in. Alright guys, just finished my morning workouts, about to go grab some lunch, but just wanted to let you know I was thinking about doing a Q&A episode for my next vlog. So drop any questions you may have below that you want me to answer. Could be a question about basketball, a question about me, anything. I will try my best to answer them. And now let's go grab some lunch. Alright Hoopers, at lunch at Mod Pizza because all those workouts burn so many calories. So now that lunch is over, I'm going to teach you guys how to drive to the hoop. Get it? Drive to the hoop? Never mind. But seriously, Hoopers, in a future episode, I will talk about how to drive to the hoop and much more. So subscribe and let me know what else you want to see. And also make sure to drop your questions for a future Q&A. Cut. This is episode 007, not 007. Now let's get into the basketball. Alright guys, so today I'm going to teach you about the three-pointer, which helps smaller guards make more shots and also creates advantages for the offense. Now Steph Curry and James Harden didn't just take their first shots from 20 feet out, they started close to the rim. So once you make a majority of your shots in the form shooting drill, you know you're ready to move back to the mid-range. So once you're ready from your mid-ranges, then you can step back to the three-point line. So now that we've mastered everything inside the arc, let's finally take a step outside the arc. So, the three things you need to remember when you're shooting your three-pointers. Number one, it's going to require some more upper body muscles because you're farther away from the basket. Number two, you might have to dip a little bit lower to generate some more power on the way up your shot. Number three, and just like any shot, remember to hold your follow through. Now remember, Hoopers, this does not happen overnight. During COVID, I put up no less than 40,000 shots, and that greatly helped me achieve becoming a good three-point shooter. One of my favorite basketball quotes is hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. So put in the hard work. Alright guys, so busy day of content creating and teaching you guys how to shoot a three-pointer. Got a lot more workouts tomorrow, so I'll see you guys then. Alright guys, just finished a tough upper body workout, so now I'm going to make some breakfast. Guys, so breakfast is ready. Remember, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So what I typically have on my ideal breakfast would be some turkey bacon and some eggs for my protein and bagel for my carbohydrates. And I also include my strawberry banana fruit smoothie as it's very healthy with the fruit in there. So keep eating up and remember, make sure you have a good breakfast. Quick bite of Panda Express before I go back out to the court later. Finished my Chinese, so time to see what my fortune cookie message is. You set your sights high and enjoy striving for the best things in life. So there you have it, Hooper. 2 days of lots of basketball. The first teaching you about how to shoot three-pointers, and the second about some nutrition and more of my workouts. Thanks, Hooper, for watching and subscribing. Be on the lookout for more content featuring interviews with my coaches, trainers, and players. I'll see you guys soon. What's going on, Hoopers? Welcome back to my basketball offseason vlog series, where I detail my life as an 11th grade Hooper both on and off the court. So today, for episode 8, I want to talk about stretching. Now, stretching is very important. It warms your muscles up prior to exercise and gets them prepared for all things you're going to do during your workout. I typically do stretching at my school team's workout and my personal workouts. So today I'm going to give you an insight on my routine as I walk you through what muscles they warm up and how I do them, so let's get into it. My first stretch is to activate your quads. Pull your ankle or heel to your butt in order to get your quads ready to jump and shoot. I recommend alternating legs from the baseline to half court for these stretches. Before your next workout, try out my personal favorite stretch for your hamstrings, scoops. Perform this by bending over your hips and scooping your hands up. Make sure to really warm up your hamstrings. They are used for all your explosive moves. And be sure to let me know your favorite stretch in the comments below. Now it's time to open up my hips. By doing hip bridges and lunges with a twist, I am sure my hips are ready to move in a variety of different ways. Lastly, I do a sideways lunge to stretch my inner thighs. Make sure to bend one side, keeping your other leg straight as you alternate sides. These are some of the stretches I do prior to a workout. Now that my muscles are prepared, it's time to warm up my skills. I like to start with one of my favorite finishing drills, the Mikan drill, which you can learn more about from my basketball tip series here. And as I'm learning new things, I've been experimenting with some left-hand form shooting lately as I work to increase my offhand strength and control. So now that my shot is ready and I'm all warmed up, it's time to get into my workout. Here we go. Hey, you looking for some basketball wisdom? Hop in. Trying to learn how to drive on and off the court this summer as I'm 16, so eventually I can, go places on my own and mature as a person on and off the court, which is part of my overall goal. But I'm gonna keep dropping content as much as I can, informing you guys. So let me know what else you guys want to see. Thanks, Hooper, for watching today's episode. Now, as always, be sure to let me know what else you want to see in the comments below. And subscribe for next week's episode, where I have my first interview with a D3 Hooper. Until then, check out my other vlogs, and I'll catch you next time. Alright guys, welcome to my first interview series, where I'm going to be talking with coaches, trainers, and players. Alright Hoopers, so today I'm with Jon Desir, who's a D3 Hooper at Gwinnett University, and I'm going to ask him a few questions. Alright, so my first question is, what led you to basketball success in high school?
Alright, that's a really good question. Actually, I had a pretty short high school career. I got cut my freshman year and my sophomore year. But during that time, I was always working. So when I first made it my junior year, I was on JV. And, a junior on JV is kind of iffy, you know what I mean? But the thing is, you just keep working at it every day, every practice, treat it like it's your last. And halfway through, I got my varsity jersey, and senior year, started on varsity for a little bit. You know how it went, but, then you just went to college, so that's how it is.
So my next question is, how does college basketball compare to basketball at the high school level?
Number one, the speed of the game. The speed of the game is so quick, so fast. The practices, you got to be on point. Like, there's just so much that goes into it. It's so complicated, yet once you get it, it makes the game so simple. That's one. And two, obviously, the talent. You got a small percentage of high school basketball players that go on to play college basketball that the talent is just immense, so.
What is some advice you have for your younger self or for some younger Hoopers?
For me, not to give up. I mean, there's times that where I've shut down because things got a little hard, and I mean, just I felt like if I didn't, I could have been so much more productive in that time that I think things would have went on better, and I probably would have been more mentally developed right now. But for my younger hoopers, everybody else, don't give up. I mean, things might seem rough at the time, but trust me, in the long haul, you'll forget about it.
Do you have a favorite NBA player or someone that you emulate on the floor?
All right, so my favorite NBA player used to be LeBron, like a long time ago. Generic answer, sure. But I bet you wouldn't guess that my favorite player now is actually Jimmy Butler. A two-way guard that is a dog on defense and knows how to run the offense. I mean, and he's just a tough player, so I really respect his game.
Do you model his while you're playing? Any aspects of it?
I'm definitely a dog on defense, but offensively, I'm coming along. But honestly, that's where I want to get to the point where you know how to control the offense, you know how to get back on defense, and just be a dog, just not give up.
So, what does hard work mean to you?
That's a great question. Hard work is a pretty general term, but I feel like it has a more specific and emphasized meaning to it. It's easy to work hard when you have all this energy. You know, the energy's good in the gym, everybody's vibing. It's easy to work hard, it's easy to go with the flow. But what can you do when you're all out of energy, you got nothing in the tank left? That's hard work to me. What you put in when you're dead tired, that's hard work.
Appreciate your time.
Of course, Josh.
So let the camera know where people can find you.
My Instagram is @JonDesir_. And yeah.
Alrighty. See you guys next time. What's up, Hoopers? Welcome back to my interview series. Today, I'm going to be interviewing Pure Sweat Academy founder, Randolph Jackson, and I'm going to ask him a few questions. All right, Coach, so tell me a little bit about yourself.
I've been in business for roughly 6 years now. What I do, I specialize in skill and development training, also strength and conditioning as well. I try to help kids enhance their skills through basketball, and I also teach basketball.
You mentioned that you work with agility. So how do you balance the athleticism side with basketball with the skill side?
Well, the question answered itself right here. Balance is key, right? So whatever we do here in terms of agility, strength and conditioning, if you put in 12, 10 hours, part-time job, you have to do the same thing on the court as well. Skill aspect of things. So key is to have that balance is to have a perfect plan. Perfect as in what best fits your schedule. So I tell a lot of my clients, whatever hours you're putting in on speed, strength, and agility, you need to put the same amount of work on the court as well.
So off the court, how can a player go about watching film?
There's many ways you can go about that. Well, so if you have access to Huddle or just watching any college film, you can watch it for enjoyment. But in terms of if you want to learn the game, I would look at it as positions, movements, and schemes. So when you break that down, what are their offensive sets? What are the defensive sets? What are your transition? How are guys communicating on offense versus defense? How are we getting back on D? There's many things that we could break down. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but the little things that we need to pay attention to is hand movement, active on defense, our communication, and how we transition to offense. A lot of guys tend to turn it back to basket, etc. I would like to face the ball, whereas you should put your butt to the sideline and get to your spots. We emphasize jump stops, so imagine what a player is going to do, trying to see the secondary help, etc. Those are the main things that you should watch in film. I want to see hand placement on the defender, foot placement. We look at the little nuances and details of it. So again, film comes down to the detail aspect, their tendencies. Those are the stuff I really want to look at as a player.
So knowing what you know now, what is some advice you have for your younger self?
That's a really good question and a tough question. So something I always tell myself is you have to put in the extra work. You can't cut the corners. A lot of guys may have talent, but my saying goes is hard work beats talent, and the talent doesn't put in the hard work. So something that I didn't really value at the time was the hard work and the extra work that I needed to put in. Now with my work ethic, You may be more talented in certain areas, but you're not going to outwork them. So that's something I live by. You just have to put in the hard work. 1% better each day. Once you put in the hard work, like
All right, thanks, Coach, for your time. And since Speed, Strength, and Agility Camp is coming to an end, what do you have planned next?
August 8th, Monday, come check us out, 9 to 1 a.m. What we're going to focus on is everything that you would need that will transition you to your game of basketball and the agility aspect of things. So we start the day off with speed and agility, fundamentals, then we transition into basketball, kicking the hill, combo moves. We're also looking at three-point contests. It's just going to be a fun day of super clinic where we're just going to focus on little nuances of the game. The guys just going to have fun.
All right, Coach. And if you're interested and in the Bucks County area, go to puresweatacademy.com. Check it out. I'll see you next time. Another week, another speed, strength, and agility session. So here's what I just did over the last hour and a half. What's up, Hoopers? Got a busy day of stuff ahead of me, and it all starts with a lower body workout. So let's get into it. Strength in basketball plays a huge role in your ability to move as an athlete on the court. I've shown some of my upper body and core workouts before, but I'm excited to take a deeper look at how I work my lower body muscles. In this morning's workout, I targeted basic movements like squats, lunges, and bridges while doing them full range, then partial range, and finally holding the bottom range, which is when the quads start to hurt. Personally, I've noticed a big increase in my top running speed since I began taking the weight room seriously. It truly does improve your game. Alright guys, that workout was a tough one. And I mean it, it really hit my quads. So now I'm gonna make some eggs for some protein. If you're struggling to get by your defender in games, today's drill is one of my favorite ways to work on your ball handling. I typically put a minute on the clock and work up and down the court, changing my speed, height, and pace. So you may ask, why are moving drills important? Well, let's break that down. In a real game, you're trying to essentially move past your defender. But you can't always go at one speed because you're predictable, they can time your dribbles, and you become easy to guard and easy to steal the ball from. So, by changing from, let's say, 40% to speeding up to 80, or from going 100% all-out speed down to just 10, you're able to create space for your shot and become less predictable. So, work on this drill on your own time, put in the work, and change your height, speed, and pace, because they are going to transfer to your games. And be sure to let me know in the comments below how you work on your ball handling. Alright Hoopers, just showered and changed after a tough ball handling workout earlier. So aside from my stretching routine, which you can learn more about here, I'm also going to give you a little insight today from my foam rolling routine, which is another way to help my muscles recover. Most of my foam rolling routine consists of stretches for the main muscle groups used in basketball. This includes the quads, hamstrings, calves, biceps, lower back, and inner thighs. I typically do these stretches ranging from 30 to 45 seconds. If you're looking for a foam roller and other recovery tools, check out my description where I'll have all the gear and equipment I use. So now the question is, how do you recover after a workout? Just finished up my foam rolling routine. Muscles are already feeling better after a big beating today. But if by any chance you want to learn more about basketball, check out my basketball tips series where I teach you guys stuff from basketball in less than 60 seconds. And here's a sneak peek of what's coming next week. Now that the clips are finished, it's time to edit. And yes, it's harder than it looks. What's up, Hoopers? Here's what a day in my life looks like as a 16-year-old basketball player. Breakfast time. Alright, so now that I'm done breakfast, right before I head out to the court, I usually get some schoolwork started because school is around the corner. It's workout time, so now I'm going to start with my 1-minute ball handling freestyle warm-up, get my handles loose after I stretch, and then move on to my finishing and shooting workout. So let's get into it. So as we're looking back at the clips of my workout from earlier today, I just wanted to tell all my Hoopers out there, especially the younger ones, that this is a game of consistency and routines. I just want to let you guys know that I wish I would have known in 9th grade. You know, work out 60 minutes to 2 hours, 5, 6, 7 days a week, instead of just the occasional 4 hours on a Wednesday afternoon. So make sure you're doing your 60 minutes, you know, before or after school, because the school season, you know, is right around the corner, but just in general to be consistent with it instead of just 4 hours one day is not going to lead to much improvement. I mean, you can't come to the weights or, you know, a gym, lift 20-pound dumbbells for one day and then expect to become super big or much bigger athletically. You got to come, right? 3, 4, 5 days a week back to the gym. And secondly, a thing about routines is you got to have a routine. I remember just waking up and being like, today's the day to go shoot hoops. And it's like, I'd get 300, 400, 500 shots up. And it's like, yeah, was I prepared before that? I didn't stretch. I didn't probably eat. I just went right out to the court and shot. Yes, that's great. But at the same time, have a morning and nighttime routine. So maybe, you know, copy my routine. Maybe something else works for you. Maybe you stretch longer, shorter, different stretches. So it's really actually up to you. It's customizable. It's personalized, whatever makes you comfortable and helps you develop to maximize your skills. And also be sure to let me know in the comments, you know, what your routine is about. If you have any questions about routines, anything else I can help you with. But I guess that was my quick TED talk, but just about things that I wish I would have known in 9th grade around consistency and routines. Now that I'm done my workout, I'm going to get some film study in. Right before I eat dinner, I shower and then meditate to work on my focus and help me relax.
On your breathing. You don't have to change the way you're breathing. Be natural. Just notice the fact that you are breathing.
Sister decided to make some fettuccine alfredo and help me restock on my carbs. Alright, Hooper, so that's a day in my life. And to finish off the day, I usually read right before I head off to sleep in order to help me calm down and wind down. So let me know what your favorite book is, and I'll see you tomorrow. Alrighty, what's up, Hoopers? Today I'm here with Danny Cooper, who's a D3 Hooper at Moravian University. And I'm going to learn a little bit about him, both on and off the court.
How's it going, man? I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
No problem. All right, so let's take a little bit of a dive into your background. So tell me a little bit about what got you interested in basketball.
Yeah, man. I mean, I just started playing basketball probably as young as 4 years old. My dad actually built so in our cul-de-sac, our driveway is like up a hill. So my dad didn't want to have a hoop in the driveway because he didn't want me to run in the street. So he built me a mini half court in the backyard when I was 4 and 22 now. So ever since, just lived back there, and that kind of helped me build my love for the game. So
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, same thing with me. I got a side hoop at one point, and after like trying a few other sports, like basketball was the only thing that stuck. I was like, basketball is my thing. That's my sport. So obviously, right, you started at 4 years old, but time moves on, you get a little bit older. So what was your high school basketball experience like?
yeah, for sure. So I played at Plymouth White Marsh High School. For those who aren't familiar, it's a pretty storied program. Did the route that a lot of players take. I played on the freshman team my freshman year, played on the JV team my sophomore year, and then I played 2 years varsity. Junior year, I was either 6-man some games or didn't play, and then senior year I was 6-man, started a couple games. Yeah, I mean, it was a great experience. My senior year, we were 19th in the country actually, so it was I learned a lot. It was a great experience playing. So
Would you change anything if you went back and relived your high school years?
it's funny, but it's funny because I was just talking to my mom about this. And a lot of my friends played at rival high schools, and they got to play 3 or 4 years of varsity and scored 1,000 points. And I only really got to play 2 years of varsity and only scored 250 points because I was the 5th or 6th option on my team. And had I been on a rival team, I probably would have started and had a lot more points. But honestly, I wouldn't change anything because those years taught me like how to fight through adversity and how to work for what you want. And even if you do work, the results aren't guaranteed. So the life lessons that I learned in those 4 years, I wouldn't trade for the world because now I know, and I've seen through my college basketball experience, those days prepared me. And I don't think I'd be where I'm at today had I gone to another high school and just kind of had an easy route and scored 1,000. So, yeah.
So you mentioned college there for a second. How did you end up at Moravian University?
Yeah, so it's a long story. I'll try to make it short. Coming out of high school, I was D1 or bust, kind of like a lot of kids. I didn't really have a lot of education on Division III. So I had around 10 Division III schools interested in me. But my brother was at Penn State main campus. So I was like, I'm just going to go there. I was a little worn out after my senior season. We lost after a really good year. So went to Penn State my first 2 years. I tried to walk on my sophomore year, actually. And after I was unsuccessful, then COVID hit. And I was kind of at a crossroads, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. And I started training a little bit. We'll get into that later. But I was home in the pandemic, and I had nothing to do. So kind of just had a moment where I was like, you know what, I'm going to try to play college basketball. So I emailed pretty much every Division III coach with my high school highlight tape. And one of the assistants from Moravian happened to be a player from Plymouth White Marsh he was kind of like a big brother to me growing up. So I reached out to him and I said, hey, do you have any advice? What do you think I should do? And he was like, dude, come to Moravian. And at first I was like, I'm not going to Moravian. I don't want to do that. But, after getting a couple options and during the pandemic, not many schools were even open. So Moravian was one of the only schools where we had a season and could be on campus. So yeah, it's kind of where I did. And I'm now here for my 3rd year at Moravian. So it's been a great experience.
Yeah. And it was definitely interesting to watch some of I loved watching your highlights there.
Appreciate that.
Stuff like that. So I guess transitioning a little bit of training, I feel like more off-court stuff, but now that you are essentially a D3 hooper,
right.
Watching film is super important. So how do you go about watching film?
Yeah, no, watching film has helped me. I was just talking to my teammate about this. Like, everyone learns in such a different way, and you can also learn in multiple ways. So sometimes like because he was asking me, when did you get to this level between high school and now?
Right.
And I was kind of telling him when I became a trainer. And that's kind of a weird answer, but when I became a trainer, I just was obsessed with watching film, watching other trainers, watching games every day. And I think just from watching that, you pick up on things that you don't even necessarily need to rep it out on the court. But then when you go out there and play pickup, like your mind just intuitively starts doing stuff that you've seen. So I think, I mean, yeah, just watching. I honestly don't love watching film of myself. I used to, but I found recently I don't love it because I just kind of like going out there and hooping now. So I'll do it sometimes, but I really just love watching, Chris Paul, Trae Young, Steph Curry, just watching them and then picking up those things that I can then put into my game. So that's helped me a ton.
I was just about to ask like who you like to watch, and you already answered the question for me.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much any of the top point guards. I mean, Steph Curry, Trae Young, Chris Paul, like I just mentioned.
So were you always a point guard?
Yeah. So growing up, why my high school experience was kind of like that is I was such a late bloomer. So I was always the smallest person on my team. High school, freshman year, I was 5 feet. Sophomore year, I was 5'3". Junior year, I was 5'6". Senior year, I was like 5'9", 150 pounds. So like that was just naturally, I was a point guard because of my size. Now I'm like probably 6 feet, 195. So I'm bigger, but I'm still a point guard. So yeah, I just always love being the quarterback out there, like being in control of everything. So
Yeah, you get to run the floor. I'm trying to get to like 6 feet. I don't know. Maybe that's like with or without shoes.
yeah, I mean, man, I grew a couple inches after high school. So I mean, it's like being a late bloomer is definitely a thing. So high schoolers got more time than you think.
Yeah. So you also have your own YouTube channel, Danny Cooper Basketball, which is probably the biggest reason why I decided to start my own. Big inspiration to me. So what led you or inspired you to create your YouTube channel?
Yeah. So are you familiar with Devontae Frigga?
Yeah.
So I always kind of, so I'll get to him in a second, but I always would say to myself that I think it would be really cool to look back on my life and just kind of see where I was at and be able to rewatch it. So Gary Vaynerchuk, a big inspiration of mine. He always talks about documenting. So I think last summer, summer 21, I had a really good summer just with my business, and I was interning for Drew Hanlon and did a lot of cool stuff. But I didn't document it, and I didn't really have any memories from it. So, it was one of like my regrets that I was like, I don't remember the summer because I didn't document it. So in October, when our season was starting, I was like, my grandparents actually bought me a camera for my birthday. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to try this out. So started just documenting my season inspired by Devontae Frigga, and yeah, called it Life as a D3 Hooper. And that was October 21. So almost 10 months ago. That kind of started my YouTube and content journey really. And just been, ever since been trying to grow on there and have had a great time. Here and there, I'll go back and rewatch some of the stuff. It's a little cringy from the first days, but I mean, when everyone starts, they're not good. So it's cool to see how far I've come, just production wise and just confidence as a person. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I was always just. I think I had like post notifications on. I was like, when's the next episode?
Love it.
Just because it was like not that many other people you could get a real life of a D3 hooper, like a glimpse into what you're doing,
right?
Whether it's on the court, off the court, with teammates, the culture there, stuff like that.
And on that note, real quick, sorry to interrupt. It's like I wanted to build a platform. You there? I think I lost you there.
Yeah, I lost you for a second.
Yeah, I was just saying another reason I did it is because in high school I was D1 or bust, and I didn't know much about D3. So if I can inspire you or another high school kid who says, you know what, I might not be able to go D1 out of high school, but I can have an amazing experience as a student and an athlete, Division III, then I'm going to do that. So that was a big inspiration for me as well.
Yeah, because I've started to just tour a few colleges. And, it's like a big thing, right? You get like one kind of chance to go for 4 years or whatever you want to do.
Right.
And you only get one chance to really go to college and pursue
Right.
that thing. But from like a student athlete perspective, you wanted to like figure out where's the best place to go academically, but also like I really want to play basketball on the side. So you got to
For
take
sure.
all those different levels.
For sure.
So so on your Instagram, and also I forgot to mention to everybody that I'll link your YouTube channel in the description.
Sweet.
That you are a trainer player. So what does that mean to you?
Yes, sir. So trainer player, I'll give a little backstory. So a good friend named Coleman Ayers at By Any Means Basketball, if you're familiar with him.
Yeah.
So he's been a big help just in my content journey and training journey and, business journey, all that stuff. So we became pretty close over the last year. And I was actually in Miami at his gym, I believe in February of this past year. And we always kind of giving each other feedback, like constructive criticism. And one thing he said to me was, yo, I don't think, I think you should start posting more of your training content on your socials, not as much as a player, because ultimately you're going to be done playing and you want to be known as a trainer, not a player.
Right.
And I looked at my Instagram and I hadn't posted a training video since December. I'm like, he's probably right. So he was like, I don't know if he said this or I said this, but someone was like, I could call myself the trainer player, something like that. I can't remember exactly, but ever since that, I was like, I want to be known as a trainer first and then a player. So it's kind of like a mix of both. And I'm kind of just bridging both passions together. And because ultimately the ball stops bouncing at some point.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of, that's kind of the inspiration for it. And I think it's cool. It also shows people you don't need to be one dimensional. You can do multiple things at once and still be successful. So it's definitely a grind, but that's kind of the trainer player background.
Very unique. I'll tell you that. But I'm sure you train a bunch of different ages of players.
Yeah.
And at some point, like I do, right? They all look up to you. So who's somebody you look up to?
So a big mentor of mine, Drew Hanlon, he kind of took me under his wing. I went to a seminar of his 2.5 years ago, and then he allowed me to intern for him in Philly for 4 weeks and then LA for 3 weeks. So I definitely would not be here without Drew. He's probably my biggest mentor. And then from afar, Gary Vee, big inspiration for mine, just with all the content stuff and positive mindset and all that stuff. Those two for sure. Like, it's my two inspirations. So.
Did that internship change like your perspective on anything, especially working under him, like what you could become?
Oh yeah. So it was really one of the first times I was working with high level like NBA players. So, number one, just how to carry yourself on the court with those types of guys. Those guys are big personalities with millions of dollars. And one of the main things I took from Drew is just his confidence and he never wavers to who the player is, right? So if it's a G League player, an overseas player, or a NBA All-Star, he's gonna have the same mantra and portray the same confidence, because ultimately if you're confident as a trainer and a person, they're going to be more confident in you, right? You don't want to go out there and be shaky in the workout or not really know what to do. So that's one of the things I've been working on the most, especially as a 22-year-old. Like when I'm working with NBA players, how do I portray that confidence that you can trust me and we're going to have a great workout and I'm going to get you better? So that's a big thing I learned from Drew. Also, just how you treat people, relationships is everything. Drew's kind to everyone who walks in the gym, say hi to everyone, give everyone the time of day, no matter who they are, whether they're an intern or an NBA All-Star. So those are kind of the things. Obviously, all the basketball skill stuff, but really the other stuff is what I took away. So
you mentioned you're 22. Do you have any advice for your younger self?
Advice for my younger self? I've never really thought about that much. I would say I kind of have this mindset now, but I would just say like embrace the struggle and like realize that every hard thing that happens in your life is for a reason and like will ultimately make you stronger. So like whether it's in basketball or whether it's with a girl or whether it's with your family, like any moment where like you're feeling down or you're having a hard time, like that is for a bigger purpose and you're going to come out bigger and better on the other side. So I think sometimes my previous self, and still I'm working on it to this day, like you overthink stuff and you stress but now it's like whenever I'm having hard times, I try to flip that and I'm like, you know what, it's a hard time, but it's going to lead me to a better time. So that's kind of a perspective shift that I would share with my younger self. Yeah. But I don't think I would really do things any differently. So.
All right. So I just want to talk a little bit about training stuff, maybe with some high school hoopers. What are some things that you might see people are lacking at, or, you know, that should really start working on more at the high school level? Something that every player needs.
Yeah, I would say shooting is number one, right? Like, especially with the whole mixtape era and everything. I have guys who I work with who want to do all the dribble moves and dribble combos, but like, if you can't shoot, you can't play. It's really that simple unless you have some crazy talent. Like there's very few guys in the NBA who can't shoot and play. Like Draymond Green, Ben Simmons are probably the outliers there where they're great defenders, so they can do that. But shooting, and then number two, I would say decision making. So like a lot of players will train themselves 1-on-0, and then when they get to the game, they just don't know what to do. Like it's a whole different environment when you're working on moves by yourself, and then you have a 6'4" defender come up on you and pressure you. So I would just say like shooting, make sure you can shoot, and then also decision making and handling pressure with defenders on you. And you know, and then number three, I think I would say communication and leadership, because that doesn't necessarily come with the skills of the game, but I think like from the intangible standpoint, if you're a good communicator and you are able to like lead a room, like just study. Like one thing I've really tried to do the last year is study leadership. I never really did that before. But if you can lead a team, you'll have a place on any team, regardless if you play or not. Like the 15th man could be a leader, right? So yeah. I would say shooting decision making, and then I would like to see I have a couple high school guys. I was talking to them yesterday. Actually, I would like to see them take a step in their leadership. Because it's hard when you're one of the alphas on your team in high school. Maybe there's 1, 2, or 3 guys who are really good, and then the other guys might just be average football players or not college basketball players. So how do you, as a leader, instead of getting like upset with them and annoyed and say my team stinks, like how do you just pick everyone up and be a leader? So yeah,
right, which is still, you know, positive mindset,
right.
Especially kind of what you did at your role at the point guard, right? Most point guards should try to do that too.
For sure.
Do you have a favorite way to train your decision making? That's something that I'm really trying to, I think, improve as
so I'm big small sided games. So essentially just any situation that you think you're going to see yourself, like it's really pretty simple. Any situation that you think you're going to be in a game, train that situation. So for me, a lot of ball screens and pick and roll stuff. If you see my videos with Mac McClung, like all he does is really pick and roll in his offense. So it's like have the ball, have someone guard you, have someone set a screen, have someone be the big play. That's really, and obviously you can add then constraints and say you have to score this way or you can't score this way, different stuff like that. But really, I mean, to see what situations am I in the game and then reverse engineer that to put yourself in those live scenarios. So that's really what I do.
So you mentioned Mac McClung, and you had a few videos with him too. What was it like working with him? Yeah,
so Mac's become a really good friend of mine now, family now. But it's been great. I mean, it's to be up close with a professional like that. And what's been really stood out to me is like Mac was viral. He's this internet sensation, but like he's still just such a genuine guy, and like treats everyone. One of the stories I told was I went down to Gate City, Virginia, his hometown, to help him run his camp, and he signed and took pictures with I think 300 people. And
Wow.
like not once did I hear a complaint, not once did I see him not giving them the time of day. And like it was just inspirational to me to see like someone who's quote unquote made it like is still the same genuine great person. So that's been really cool to be around. And then working with him on court, it's just been a challenge for me because it's one of the first NBA guys who I really got to work with for an extended period of time. So just grateful for him to trust me, and you know it's been a really fun collaborative effort. So yeah.
Alrighty, so I guess looking ahead into the future, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
You know, that's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I can try to answer it, but I'm gonna give you the honest answer first. Like I'm really just trying to take it day by day right now. One thing I've really been trying to like stress in my life is being present. So like as like a kind of overachiever, hard worker, you're always constantly focusing on the future and stuff like that. So like one thing I really just trying to be is like, I just want to enjoy my college basketball season. I'm just trying to be present. But if I have to give you that answer, in 5 years, I see myself, in 5 years, I see myself traveling the world, putting on clinics. Shout out my man Coleman. That's what he's doing right now. So that's definitely something that I want to do. Traveling, training NBA guys, and just documenting it. It's like 3 pillars: like traveling around the world, putting on clinics, training NBA players, and then documenting the process. So that's kind of where I see myself.
Pretty much just continually improving from what you're doing now, right? Just
Correct.
gradually, expanding over time.
Right. And yeah, just trying to help and inspire as many people as I can. And that's really what it comes down to. That's what kind of fulfills me, knowing that I can inspire one person with my content or my actions, and it's worth it, right? So.
All right, Danny, any last advice for younger hoopers?
Last advice for younger hoopers. I would say, what are you doing to separate yourself? So find ways to separate yourself. It doesn't necessarily mean working harder and spending more hours in the gym. Find ways to work smarter. Find ways to separate yourself that way. Do you watch film more? Do you study the best trainers? I think something that's missing a lot is that high basketball IQ. So I think that's something that you can really do to separate yourself. Once you get to high school and college, a lot of these dudes have the same skill. They really do. So it's the intangibles that are going to separate you. It's going to be how you think the game. It's going to be how you communicate. It's going to be how you carry yourself, and really just enjoy it. That's another thing. Like so much of AAU culture now, it's turned into a job. Like you're young. I mean, it's crazy how I'm already 22 and I'm already almost done college. Like it goes fast. Really just remember you're playing a game that you love. At the end of the day, we'd all do this for free because we love it. Just enjoy it, really. Try to be present, back to what I was saying. So,
yeah. Awesome advice. All right. Thank you, Danny, for your time. Once again, I appreciate it, man. You're somebody I look up to. The reason I started my channel, and it all stemmed from there.
For sure, man. I'm glad I could be inspiration. I appreciate your support. You're one of my OG supporters, for sure. So, appreciate you.
All righty. Thanks again.
Yes, sir.
What's up, Hooper? If you're looking to improve your basketball IQ, you came to the right place. Today, I'm going to break down some of my film from a game I played in a few days ago, so that way you can learn how to analyze and improve your own game. Right away, I noticed that my hands need to be up, because it's only a 2v2, which means the only other option once one teammate picks up the ball means it's going to be going to the other teammate. So right about here, even I think before the possession happens, my hand should be up, and I should be not denying the guy in the orange shirt the ball. Because that way, as soon as it comes to him, you'll see, he just rips and goes, and my hands are on out, so I'm skinnier and easier to get by. So let's see, I slide and recover. Hand should be up there. And he turns it over, which happens, but still, I think hands need to be up there. Super important as a defensive quality. So now we're on offense. Let's see. And that's what I'm trying to work on right there. I think finishing has got to improve. But off the catch, let's see. Good pump fake, good rip. I start to get by. Let's see. Dribble. It looks like I go off my right foot. But I did an underhand layup, and that's going to be really hard to make and make sure that I'm under control. So I've either got to go off 2 feet or go off my left foot and go up with 2 hands, but then I'm just finishing with the right instead of a scoop underhand layup. Good rip baseline, so positive play there. I finished the reverse layup. Now I'm going to go back and look at why or how that happened. So teammate gets the ball. It's a little bit out of frame, but it looks like I jab right and go left, which is pretty good considering the help defense is on the right side. So I jab right, go left, get in front of him, and I think I probably could have went for the left-hand layup there, but I think it's better to go reverse considering where the guy in the white shirt is and just the fact that he's behind me. So reverse layup, create space and make sure that there's nobody there to block it. So good finish. Threes weren't having it today. Super windy outside. So I should have learned my lesson a little bit sooner about starting to shoot a lot of threes when it's a super windy day. And it's kind of like a double rim sort of thing. Got to box out right there much better. So teammate gets this shot. Sorry, other team gets the shot. But I should have already had it boxed out because he's already halfway pulling up. So I got to turn around and like get right in front of the other guy. So that way if that rebound comes towards us, which it did, it comes right to me. So future me or notes, I got to box out much better than that and try to tip it to my teammate or come down and grab it with 2 hands. So I just want to bring up a point here about being able to shoot and how that opens up your whole game. So right in this clip, since the guy in the white shirts hit a few shots before that, my teammate falls for the pump fake, which is okay. Right, it happens. But I just think this is a good point of emphasis for if you're able to shoot, besides the fact that people might bite on your pump fakes, you're also going to have the ability to drive just because they have to respect the 3-point shot. So they pump fake here and are able to get a layup. So good attack there, but the mid-ranges today, I was not having it with the mid-ranges, if I'm being honest. But let's see. Good pickup, good left, right. Let's see, turn, not really fading, so looks like I landed a little bit backwards. So that might have been the key because I'm fighting my own momentum. So I gotta lean forwards on that, and that's why it's short. Oh, I remember this is one of my favorite plays right here because my teammate told me to throw it up, and I looked at him. I was like, "Can we get it there? You know, to get a layup." So, just shows the importance of communicating with your teammates, because otherwise we wouldn't have connected on that play. Because he said, you know, give me the ball down in the post. I hit him with the entry pass, and the next thing is a layup. All right, really bad take here. So let's see what happens. My first thought is there's space there, but that doesn't mean it has to be a shot. So I keep going. Right about here is probably a great time to stop on a dime and get a pull-up, because he's already on the way to cutting me off. So probably a step back or a drag or some sort of move that stops my momentum so I can get an easy mid-range, but I keep going. And I picked up my ball too early here, because now I'm 2-3 steps away from the basket and on my first or second to last step. So if I pick it up, or maybe I just hesitate for one more dribble and then I'm able to like spin by him or go between and split the 2 defenders here, probably get a much better look at the rim. Instead, I go up against a much taller guy, like you can see right here. I go up way too far away from the rim. That's never gonna go in unless I do some crazy trick shot, which is low percentage. So definitely gotta get closer to the rim here. Same story here, man. Layups, you gotta finish them. That's something I learned over the course of playing here. Great pump fake. Wait. Also, I think the angle here too. It looks like, look how far away I am from that defender. If I am another step over to the right, I'm on his hip, so I can initiate contact and get the finish. But instead, I'm like a few feet away from him, which means he can recover and then try to swat my shot. And again, left hand scoop layup, super lower percentage and harder to control. So gotta go off 2 feet and try to take a better angle on that next cut. There we go, good finish. So let's see, we'll back it up here. So I get the ball pretty far away from my defender. So that read could have went any way. Maybe I could have stopped, let him come up even closer to me before then attacking the basket. But I get by in 1 or 2 dribbles. And instead of doing, I mean, the help's coming, but instead of doing like a left-handed scoop layup, I go up with my right hand, and it looks like I'm up first. So before any of the other 2 guys are up, I'm already on the way up with my right hand and use the backboard. So good finish. Important note about help defense here. As soon as my teammate brings the ball near me, I reach for it. So I didn't get the steal there, but still impacted, made the other player lose the ball, so now my teammate steals it. And now we get another possession. Close layup here, so we gotta take a look at it. So I'm pretty much in an ISO situation. Let's see. First thought I'm thinking, looking at a replay, because it's always different in real time, is probably just try to go, I should really be going left. Because if you look, the help defender is over there on the right. He doesn't have his hands up, stuff like that, but still, that's pretty much the way he's trying to force me is right, because then they can both trap me or force me into a bad shot, bad pickup. So first thing should really be an in and out cross, or something to get it to my left hand, and then attack the left side of the basket. I still decide to attack right. So let's just see what happens with maybe right here could be a spin move to the left side, because right, again, it's not guarded. I pick it up, and then I go off my left foot. So it's a pretty tough shot. It almost went in, but can't really rely on those tough shots, especially on like a double rim like this. So next time I play, gotta be conscious of where's the help defense and try to go the other way of that, or just avoid it as much as I can. I most like mid-range shots today, so we get the rebound. That's not really a pump fake. I gotta do a much better job of making that look like a shot. But anyways, I decided to go drive to the right, and this time decided, square again, but it's much closer, which is probably the only reason why it went in. But not a great shot. I'm not thrilled about it, but my defender's hand didn't go all the way up, so it's not like he contested it the whole way through. It was pretty much once I brought the ball up past where his hand was, it was pretty much just all on, can I finish the shot? So right here, I noticed we're able to get a super quick layup just because of the lucky rebound. But as soon as I'm bringing it back here, actually, looks like my teammate, if I could have done one more pass there, like quickly passed it back to him. But as soon as I catch it, the guy in the paint starts to return anyways. So I probably could have swung it, really should have swung it to him. Anyways, shoot it. Glad I followed my own rebound, comes right to me. And then I'm able to like fake the pass and go up super quick for a layup. So I think we ended up losing this game, unfortunately. I think sometimes losing is a good thing, because in this example, I know now that I gotta really work on my finishing, whether it's off like different feet and finishing with different hands. So I think it's super important that you break down your own film. There's so many different things you can learn from it, and same with losing. So don't ever let a failure become a setback for you. Learn from your mistakes and advance forward. All right, guys, so that's a little bit of how I break down my film. Let me know how you break down your film in the comments. What else you'd like to see, and I'll see you next time. What's up, Hoopers? Today I'm here with high school basketball varsity captain and teammate, Sean Curley, and I'm going to learn about his journey as a basketball player.
Josh, thank you for having me. Excited to be here. Excited to answer some questions.
All right.
Thank you.
So let's get into it. I want to learn a little bit about your background as well as let the audience know a little bit about your background. So what got you interested in basketball?
Basketball, well, I've been interested since basically the day I was born. My whole family's been playing. My sisters are big players. My dad played in college. So really ever since the day I was born, since as far as I can remember, I've been playing basketball. And earliest days, probably playing in a CYO league over at OLG is probably the earliest memory I have in basketball.
Did you try any other sports?
I played soccer for a while. That was another interest of mine. I ultimately gave it up going into high school. Decided to focus on just basketball, try and be the best at one thing I could. So that was the other sports interested me.
All right, that's interesting. So, right, you stuck with basketball in your high school career. So run us down your school sports team career so far.
So for high school, started off freshman year. I got some varsity playing time, which is definitely a unique experience. Not everyone gets to do that. I was very thankful to do that. I didn't get a whole lot of playing time. I wasn't as big or as fast or strong as anybody else on the court. I'm still not as big or strong, but definitely then it was bigger of a gap. I really just got on the court as a spot-up shooter, tried to excel in that, which is what I did. And so team success did not come all my first year. I think we went 10 and 12. And that was just a learning, little rough patch for the whole team. But next year, my sophomore year, moved up the ranks a little bit, came sixth man, started a few games here and there. And then we actually won the league for the first time in, I think, 20 years, which is huge.
Wow.
Big team success for us, which is huge. Awesome to be a part of a team like that. Great group of guys. Now we're all doing great things now. And then this past year, we didn't have the outcome we wanted as a team success, but I thought I had a pretty good individual season. I made first team all league, which is a huge success for me. I'm so thankful that I was able to do that. But the team, I think we placed third in our division SOL, made the district playoffs back-to-back years. Couldn't find a win, but still pretty big team success so far in my career. Happy to see it.
Interesting journey that you got. So I mentioned in the intro that you're a upcoming senior. So what are you most excited about for your senior year?
Man, that's quite the question. I don't really know. It's going to be kind of surreal. It just feels it goes by so quick. It's going to be the last go around. I'm most excited. I think we're going to have the best team yet. So I'm excited to win a ton of games. Excited to put on a show every time. But it's going to be real tearjerker when it comes down to it. In the last two games of the season or so, down the home stretch, and that's going to be it for high school, which is it is going to be upsetting, but hopefully it's going to come with a lot of wins, and I'm sure it will. So yeah.
You think there's something that you're going to miss the most from this experience?
I don't know. Just being with what I take out of high school basketball is just the friends you make along the way, the relationships you make with people. That's what I'm going to miss the most. There's nothing like just having your best buddies on the team. You're going over, you're hanging out every day for 2 hours after school. I think that's what I'm going to miss. Is just the relationships you make with everybody and all the friends you make.
Alrighty. So transitioning now to some on the court skills. Some questions around those. What's your primary position on the floor, and what do you think that means to you?
My primary position, I would definitely say I'm either a point guard or a two guard. Definitely one or the other. I lean more towards point guard, and I think for that it means really getting the team involved. I love just trying to spread the wealth around as much as I can. It comes awesome with individual success, but seeing the team succeed and others around you succeed is even better of a feeling. So I love to try and get everybody involved and make plays for my teammates who I know excel in other things that I'm not exactly great at, but helping my teammates out, helping them score, whatever it is, sending them a hard screen, getting them open, or giving them a nice pass. That's what I feel as being a point guard.
So, big season coming up. What is a past or present go-to meal, whether it's pregame or postgame for you?
Go-to meal, pregame, definitely an egg sandwich, sometimes with bacon and cheese on it, on a bagel, pregame, hour maybe before the game. Also Cliff Bar, sometimes if I'm really hungry at halftime, but Cliff Bars are huge right before the game. Awesome snack, that's what I love. Post-game, sometimes it's we have leftovers from the night before, no game, or it's a Brothers Pizza Pie, which is awesome. I had to throw them in there. I love Brothers Pizza. Huge, easy, quick grab on the way home. Nice slice. But yeah, that's my post-game meal.
Just because a lot of times, like pregame, postgame meals kind of are different because before you might be looking for like something to give you long-term energy along the game, but after the game you're looking to recover, get your muscles feeling right.
Yeah. Well, pizza might not do the trick, but it is good. So.
All right, so this one might be a tough one, but looking back, what is the biggest challenge that basketball has presented you with?
Biggest challenge, definitely overcoming some adversity. My freshman year, I might not have played a whole lot, and it was real tough. Trying to stick with it. And do I belong here? Do I not belong here? Not getting the playing time. It really hurts. Also, around last summer, I broke my foot, and that was a real downer. I couldn't play at all. I was basically sidelined for 2 or 3 months, and it's just really hard to keep your head in the right space during that time when nothing seems to go your way. But it really is tough. But you just got to keep going through. You got to keep pushing because there's light at the end of the tunnel. And it's gonna be all worth it at the end. Just got to fight through some adversity sometimes because everything is not going to go your way. And that's anything in life, really, not just basketball. So definitely facing some tougher times. It's definitely the hardest thing I've been presented with, I'd say.
I like your message there about kind of stuff that how basketball also translates to life.
Yeah.
So I mentioned a little bit about your play style, right? Point guard, a little bit of shooting guard, kind of dabbled in there. But who's your favorite basketball player, and how do you model them in your game?
Oh, my favorite basketball player. That's a real tough question. I want to say my favorite player right now is Luka Doncic. I mean, what he does it's crazy. He's just this big guy. He's definitely not faster than all the guys on the court, but he gets buckets. So from him, I try to learn. Play your own pace. He's not Kyrie Irving with the speed and this crazy handle just blowing by people. He's strong, and if he gets you on your hip, it's over. You're not getting around him. He's this big, strong, plays at his own pace. Not quite athletic, but that's what he does. He plays at his own pace and gets the shots and looks for his teammates that he wants to get. That's why I try to like him.
I gotcha. All right, so transitioning quickly, a little bit of off-court questions for you. What is your favorite subject? And it's always been like that, maybe 9, 10, 11, 12.
My favorite subjects, definitely the sciences. Definitely. I really like biology and chemistry. Doing another year of chemistry this year, senior year. Physics, not so much. I could do without physics. That one's rough. But definitely biology and chemistry. When I was younger, it was math, and then they started throwing too many letters in there, and it got real confusing. So that is not my favorite anymore, definitely. So definitely the sciences, chemistry, and biology.
I kind of feel the same. I think up until right about high school, I was like, math might be my thing, and then I was like, all right, science is pretty cool because you're solving problems, right? You solve problems on the court too, so
Exactly.
that we're definitely related there. So this one's gonna be a little tough. When you're not on the court, what can you be caught doing?
Ooh, man, that's good. So right now, today's Sunday, so I was watching a ton of football. Huge fantasy football day. Really love. The Eagles aren't playing today, but huge Eagles fan. I'm basically locked in for their game every time. Huge fantasy football day. I'm watching football. Other than that, I would say playing some video games. Definitely like a Fortnite or Minecraft type of guy. That's what I like to play. But other than that, I do like a good book. I just finished a book this year for school, so I'll read a little bit here and there. But other than that, those 3 things takes up the chunk of my time.
Have you visited Eagles games in person?
No.
That experience?
I have not ever been to an Eagles game. That is a huge dream of mine to go to an Eagle playoff game. That I feel like the intensity and the vibe there, the atmosphere would be electric. So that is definitely a goal of mine to get to one of those games.
All right, so looking a little bit forward now in the future, do you know where you want to go to college, and how does basketball enter into that equation?
Yeah, so I at the moment I do not know where I want to go. I know a few schools that I would definitely like to go to, but basketball is definitely big for me. I'm 100% in trying to play basketball. And it's quite the process, trying to find the right school because basketball sometimes might not always be there, and you got to find things off the court that aren't there that you'll find fun and stuff. So it's definitely huge. I really am trying hard to play basketball there. I can't tell you where. I don't really know where, but it's quite a tough task trying to play basketball.
Have your college goals changed since entering high school?
No, I don't think they've changed. I think from the moment I got there, I knew I wanted to play in college. But yeah, my goals have always been set on playing college basketball.
Me too. So sometimes, especially I think at the college level, work ethic becomes important. So what does hard work mean to you?
Hard work to me really means doing things when you just don't want to. You're going to have days where you're just waking up and you do not want to get out of bed. Everybody has them. Everybody knows what it feels like, but you just got to push through. You just got to get in the gym, whether you're throwing some weight around, getting shots up, dribbling, whatever it is, going for a run. I mean, it's just those days when you do not feel like doing anything, that you're doing it, that you're putting that work in, and you're pushing yourself to the limit. Even when you don't even think you can walk anymore, you're still going. It's just those days that you really feel sluggish. And, some days you're definitely not going to have the best day. You still got to put that work in. And I think that's hard.
So, again, I guess going not back, you're just into the future again. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
5 years from now, that is a tough question. I would say definitely still in school. I want to try to go to school after college, get some degrees. Not sure where yet. But 5 years from now, I would like to still be playing basketball. I guess I'd be 1 year out of college. Maybe that'd be fast. Maybe still playing basketball, but really, I would just like to see myself. I don't know. It's a really hard question. Really, just still surrounded by the friends I have now, and with even more friends. I would say it's hard to say. I don't know if I'd have a job yet. I don't think I'd be my full-time job yet. Definitely not. But I would just say still being with the friends I have now and my family, cherishing them.
Do you have any advice for your younger self?
My younger self, yeah, I definitely would. And it would be when I was younger. I tried to work on things that I really wasn't going to be the best at. I always wanted to be that guy going up trying to dunk and stuff. Being that. But sometimes I think you got to realize maybe some things aren't realistic, and I wish I tried to excel on things that I know I could be good at, and that I know definitely would help me in the future more than things that wouldn't help me. And really, the other thing would probably be getting in the weight room. I mean, I'm not the biggest guy. It should be quite nice if I had an extra 20 or 30 pounds on me right now, but throw some weight around would be another piece of advice for myself.
All right, so do you have a favorite motivational quote you go by?
Yeah, definitely. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I mean, that can be interpreted as I touched the ball, I'm shooting it. But that's not how I feel. I mean, I think you just got to be out there. If you're not looking to, make plays, if you're not looking to be aggressive, you're not going to be much of a use in the court. If you're just there and you just feel like, I'm going to miss, it's not going to go in anyway. I can't make that play. I'm not good enough. You just got to think. You're not going to do it if you don't even try. So you just got to be confident and assertive in yourself. Really is what that quote means to me. So confidence is key, really.
I like that quote too. That's definitely like a top 5 for me, somewhere up there. I'll have a last question. You're a Sixers fan, so what do you think their record's going to be this year?
This year, I definitely think they're going to win a ton of regular season games. I'm hoping north of 55. If I had to give them a record right now, I would say 58, 24, 15, 24. They play 72, they play 82 or so, right? So it's 58, 24? I think that's right. I think that's right where they'll
Well, somebody out there is going to have to fact check that for us.
My math isn't exactly the greatest, but yeah, so that's what I think they're going to win. I think they made some good off-season additions. PJ Tucker, huge ad. Hope James Harden comes back. Plays a little more assertive than he did. He kind of tailed off in the end of the playoffs last year. What else did they have? PJ Tucker. They traded for my best friend. Montrezl Harrell. Another huge signing, big backup center. So yeah, I think they're going to win a ton of regular season games. Hopefully they finally figured out the playoffs, which is really all that matters. Hopefully it's not their second round exit this year, but yeah, 58 wins. I have them having a huge nuclear season this year.
All right. Just before we head off, Sean, I know might catch you a little bit off guard here, but do you think you're up for a quick 3-point competition or what?
Oh yeah, I'm always ready for a 3-point competition.
All right, we'll do that. Up showing Sean.
Yeah.
Wynn kind of intercepted some of our shots there. But I appreciate you for coming on today, sharing knowledge, wisdom. Everything is your journey. Just let the camera know, world know, everybody know. Where can they find you?
You can follow my Instagram, Sean Curley _ SEAN. That's how you spell Sean, not SHA. Make sure you're clear.
All right, Sean. Everybody, let me know what else you want to see. I'll see you guys next time.